Hi, Thumos. Welcome back. We gotta talk. Welcome to a brand new day. Hope you guys are feeling good. Listen, I just want to talk about a lesson. I think it's probably the most important lesson I learned in my life. I think it could probably benefit you. Some of you have heard this. I actually made my first video on YouTube about this. So I'd like to, as I'm kind of nearing 100K, I'd like to talk about it more and again, because I think it needs a refresher. So the idea is that if you want to get something, you need to deserve what you want. I first realized this, and it's bloody simple, right? It's super simple. Kind of seems stupid to talk about, but I think it needs to be really understood. For me, I was 23 years old. I'm competing in a bodybuilding competition, and I'm feeling good. I'm the man at the gym. I'm the man at school. People are like, that's Big E right there. I'm getting everyone in the group, in the high school, in lunch. We're going to work out. We're pumping iron. I'm the strongest. I got the big biceps. I'm looking good. I'm 23 now, so obviously I'm not in high school. But, for years, I was the guy. I was a beast, okay? That was at my gym. Now, when I got to this bodybuilding show, what happens is before you go out on stage, you go to pump up. And you pump up in this back room. They got some weights, some bands. Everyone takes their shirts off. Dude, when people took off their shirt, I'm like, holy shit. This is crazy. People are way more shredded than me. People are bigger. They have way better genetics. I mean, my confidence took a hit immediately. We go on stage. I'm pumped. I'm doing my best. I'm posing. I got sixth place. Sixth place out of, I think it was like 11 or 13 people, something like that. Top 5 go on to qualify to get their pro card, to go on and become eventually a professional. They have the shot at becoming a professional. I was one place away, man. And on that drive home, I was just sitting in silence. I was thinking, what the hell, dude? I was one place away. I couldn't put in a little bit of extra work to get one place, right? I was like pissed, dude. I was devastated because this was a dream. But it was humbling, right? I needed to get humbled very quick because I wasn't all that. And let me tell you, I thought about this, and even though I lost, this probably instilled in me one of the biggest lessons I've ever learned in my life, and has helped me. And that's simply, to get what you want, you have to deserve what you want. When I look at that competition, I realized that I didn't deserve to win. The people that won, they deserve to win. And sometimes when you deserve it, it's sometimes morally questionable. It's not always it's not always so simple on the surface. Sometimes, to win it at some kind of game, sometimes you got to play the game and maximize your odds of winning by taking advantage of the system. And so the competition that I was competing at was not drug tested. So there was guys in there that were on steroids. There was guys in there, though, who also had hired a coach. I didn't have a coach. There was guys in there that had meal plans. I didn't have a meal plan. There was guys in there that worked harder than me. There was guys in there that had better genetics. And on top of doing drugs, dude, they were just way better than I was, and they deserved to win. Well, isn't that kind of wrong? And the answer is no. They did everything right, and they deserved it more than I did in the context of bodybuilding. And there's really no difference in life. In life, you're playing a game. You're playing a game, and you can win at the game, or you can lose at the game. And the thing is, everyone these days wants to make you feel like a winner. The world has a way of making losers get trophies and creating these safe spaces. The thing is, man, most people are not going to win. Most people are not going to make it. And here's the thing. We all think that we're destined for greatness. At one point in our lives, I'd like to think that most people think that they're destined for greatness. They have a lot of ambition. The reality is that, you're not the only one. You're not the only one who feels like you're destined for something greater and that feels this power. But eventually that fades, that light of ambition sort of fades out if you stop having these wins along your journey, right? If you're playing the game and you feel like you're not winning, your desire to play the game goes down. And so it's very important to win at the game. And you'll know that you're winning when you feel joy, when you feel, you feel like desire to keep playing. You feel like momentum to keep going. You feel like you feel inspired, right? You feel inspired to keep going. That means you're winning, dude. You got to win. That's what's important. It's not so important about just being disciplined for the sake of discipline. You need to actually win. You got to have real results, man. Real results. Think about it like this. When we start out on this earth, we're playing a game. Understand this. It makes things easier. And you are a character, but you're not worth anything. Okay? You don't own anything, but everyone owns you. You don't own the clothes on your back. You don't own the house, the crib that you're sleeping in. You don't get to pick your parents. You don't get to pick the language that you speak, the state or the city, the country you're born in. You do not get to pick your skin color. You don't get to pick anything. And you're owned by everyone. And so, the goal of this character is to go forth, to become more free, to separate himself, to have sovereignty over himself, domain over himself, to not be owned by everyone and controlled by everyone. That's part of becoming a man. And it's also to learn how to play the game. You learn how to play the game, you level up. And so this lesson, your deserving factor to win. Well, what's going to give that to you? Because listen, life's not a bodybuilding stage. It's not all black and white. There's very complicated and various scenarios that you could place yourself in. And so, I don't think you need to worry too much about being perfect. You don't need to be worried about being perfect. And I don't want this message to confuse you, but if you think about, do you deserve to get what you want, right? Do you deserve to have the ideal life that you've envisioned for yourself? Do you deserve to get those things which you seek after? And even though you believe you're destined for them, well, you have to take a good look at what field you're in, what domain that you're occupying. And you want to see how you can rise above and stand out. Because most people in this game, right, there's not really much standout qualities. Most people, more than ever, are becoming very sort of similar. The NPC of the environment, very similar. Nothing really stands out about them. And so you do not need to be some superstar athlete, some rock star, some crazy, famous person. That's not what you need. But you do need to stand out in what you're doing. And a couple of ideas, I can't just, these are ideas for you to think about, but you have to be useful. You have to be useful to people in your environment. You have to be useful to the world. The way to be important is to be useful to other people, to solve problems. A lot of us, we want to seem important, but the way that you become important is actually by being important to other people, by being useful to them, providing them with a service, solving their problems, alleviating their suffering in this life, making their life easier. People make fun of entertainment, but the entertainers also are in a way providing you a service. And they're providing you a way to alleviate your suffering and to escape from that. The person that writes a great fantasy novel is giving you something of value because it gives you insight into, say, human interaction, or it takes you away from the mundane or being bored, right? It provides you something. The people that are brewing up your whiskey or putting wine in a bottle, they're providing a service. Even if you like to criticize them and say, oh, well, alcohol's bad, these people are providing a service and they get paid for it. And so you, first off, when you're playing this game and you're real young, you want to guard yourself, man, from becoming bitter at the world. You want to seek to have understanding and knowledge about how the world works so that you can go forward in that world. And the opportunities that present themselves to the character, the people that you meet, you are not just naive and ignorant, but you understand what is this world about, how does it function, the intricacies, how does it work. You want to get a grasp on these things. And if you are in a sense neglecting to be curious if you're neglecting to be curious, what will happen if you're neglecting to constantly learn? What happens is you will often become bitter, and bitterness and anger will override you. You become like not a person that people want to be around, and that is so essential to deserving it. Is you want to be a good person. You want to be someone that other people like to be around, because you will be around a lot of people, and you do not want to be someone that people do not want to be around. And it's very simple, but it blows my mind. People never take the time to learn how to even to greet someone, to give a proper handshake. I mean, that is increasing your deserving factor stat. They never learn how to smile or compliment someone or use someone's name. These are all basic things that you should be learning when you're just starting out, but many of us neglect that. A lot of people neglect how they're like always criticizing people, and they're never positive. They're never actually good energy. Like it's always kind of weird. It's always kind of questioning of everyone, kind of how do you say this? It's like never really trusting. Like you need to just rise above that and be a bigger man. Like you need to be able to give off like good energy in your life. You need to be able to that is like very basic stuff, man, and you got to do it, okay? And the more that you do not have these basic things, the more I feel like you just cope, and you just become more bitter and angry, and it's no way. It's going to tank your deserving factor stat. So, these are just some ideas, man. I know I'm riffing off here, but I think it's very important to think about this. It's very important. Whatever you're doing, whatever field you're in, become better. Stand out. Maybe be in the top 5%. Be in the top 5%. You do the little bit better work. You're more efficient. Maybe you have something special quality about you. Maybe you have multiple special qualities around you that give you sort of a halo effect, right? Maybe you're doing your focus, and you're doing one thing every day that can sort of exponentially over time add up and give you greater returns on that work, that investment of energy and time that you're putting into it. Eventually, over time, it separates you from everyone who's not doing that, right? Even though during the day, brick by brick, it feels like you're not doing anything. But eventually you look back a year or two later, dude, you got a whole damn castle built up. You're doing well because you took the time. Every day you put a little bit of energy in, And, sometimes the game is just not for you. And so you play a different game, or you sculpt out a different way to play the game. You become a leader in your niche. You become someone who occupies something or domain that people have not often occupied yet, or they haven't really explored yet. That you call it a blue water niche, something that combines different things, right? Something that is doing something else. For me, like on YouTube, I was already real with myself when I see other people doing these crazy vlogs and these jokes and these pranks. There's just certain things I'm not gonna do, man. I don't like a bunch of editing. I don't want to do a bunch of editing. But would that help me deserve hitting 100K subs? Probably. Would it make me maybe deserve hitting a million subscribers? Sure. But I don't want to do those things. And so, I got to figure out how I'm going to sculpt out my place in this format. And I believe that I'm doing that because I want to keep it real, and I want to make content that I like and I think is helpful. And I don't want to play their game. So sometimes you have to be willing to play your own game and create the rules and figure that shit out, dude. There has to be some willingness and heart in what you're doing. Patience, willingness, heart, perseverance, just this pure will and intent to see things through, to make shit happen, not to give up. When you're in need of resources and money, there was many times in my life I didn't know what the hell to do. So I just scoop my nuts and I go in and I say, hey, where's the manager? I need to talk to him. I'm willing to work. Please give me a job, and it happened. I go into a bar. I have zero experience, but he gives me a job anyway because I showed the enthusiasm to work. I go into a car dealership and I talk to the general manager, right? Kind of scared, but he gives me a shot because of that willingness. That energy is infectious, man. And you got to carry it with you. That's how I do most. So that's all I'm saying. To get what you want, you have to deserve what you want. The world is not yet a crazy enough place to reward a bunch of undeserving people. So one of my favorite quotes is by Charlie Munger. I think it has a lot of truth there. I think it's something that you can carry with you, and realize, if you're not winning at the game, you're doing things that aren't increasing that deserve it factor stat. They're not actually leveling you up. It's just busy work. It seems like it's getting you somewhere, but it's really not. Okay, it's really not. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed this message. If you want to get into our group, we're open now. We got a bunch of challenges going on in the High Thumos men's community. You got guys that are crushing it from all corners of the world. We got guys in the UK, guys in Aussie, guys in the Middle East, the US, Brazil, South America. Dude, it's amazing. Come join us. We're meeting up in real life. We're sharing different ideas, having new insight that you would not normally have. We got programmers, a ton of programmers. I don't know why we got so many damn programmers. I think because you guys are good on the internet, but you smart mother effers, all right? We got business guys, entrepreneurs. We have students. We got guys from every walk of life, and we're here sharing this knowledge that you're not going to get. You're just not going to have. You sitting at your house and you effectively don't have the communication to talk with other people. Another great benefit of this group is the voice chats that we have. They're going on all the time. Literally every day there's a voice chat. You have to maximize it. Your deserving factor will go up when you get comfortable speaking to other people. If you have problems speaking and you're shaking in your boots when it comes to talking, that's fine. We got a guy in our group. He stutters, right? He stutters and he's very shy, but slowly but surely we're bringing him out. We're helping him, and he's scared. And dude, it's fine. You're trying to get better. You're welcome. If you come in here closed-minded and not willing to grow and to put yourself out there, don't even come in. It's not for everyone. But those who want to grow, those who want to level up and get ahead and become more powerful, become stronger, this is for you. All right, so get in here. We're open. We're starting a new challenge on the 10th. It's a body transformation challenge, the 12-week summer shred. Hope you guys will be in there for that. I look forward to talking to you, communicating with you, networking, just getting to know you, man. I'd love to see you in here. Check it out, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.